welcome to another special edition of 11th Hour Radio. This is again a show co-hosted by me with myself. This is a co-hosted show that is missing a host, and that host is my partner in crime, Emily Howe. Hello, have I reached the radio? May I please speak to Emily Howe? May I please speak to my co-host on 11th Hour Radio? Please hold. She's playing with starfish right now. Can I take a message? Yes, are you still there? Okay, go ahead. All right, would you tell Emily that Kristina called? And you're calling from where? I'm calling from Vermont, the Green Mountain State. Would you please tell her that I would like her to stop playing with starfish, and it's time for her to stop eating popsicles and to come home. Because it's been 2 weeks now doing this show by myself, and I'm getting a little bit irritated. Okay, very good. And I will make sure that Miss Howe gets this message. Have a great day. So that's exactly what happened when I tried to call her. Got to run around. That happens sometimes when you try to call people when they're on vacation. Nonetheless, I managed to put together another action-packed show by compiling best-of clips from around 2014. That was back in the dark ages, before we knew what we were doing. It's funny, I think we felt the need to act a little straighter than we really are. We've since cleared that up, and I think the show is a little bit zanier now, which it certainly makes us feel happy on Fridays. Hopefully it makes you feel happy too. I'd just like to mention before we get on with the show that for those of you who have a surplus of zucchini, last Wednesday was National Sneak Some Zucchini Into Your Neighbor's Porch Day. There is such a day, and hopefully you didn't miss that. You took full advantage of that. I know I did. And one thing that I learned today that I wanted to pass on to you before we get on to the rest of the show is that your heart is a garden, and that your words are the seeds, and you can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. I've been thinking about that this week. So, all right, onward and upward to this week's show. How many do you have? Have you counted?
I have a huge, ridiculous amount of those little sparkly velvet dresses that are very much tools of the oppressor, Kristina. I mean, they're short and everything.
You rock those, though. I rock wires and plugging in extension cords. That's my expertise.
You are getting all tangled up down there. What are you doing?
I know. Well, what happens is when you have these chairs that are on wheels and you have cables.
And then you roll over the cables.
Yeah, you always do, no matter how hard you try not to. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, that's okay. It's good that you came back. So there was a stuffed toy rabbit just hanging in a tree on the side of our road for almost all of last winter, and I kept just hoping that somebody would get that stuffed rabbit out of the tree, but I think they must have, because it eventually was gone. But there was one spot in the road where a bunch of crows were kind of standing there, and you couldn't see anything but white. They haven't really sanded the roads, it's just they've plowed, so it's very pretty and clean looking, and all these black crows were kind of on the side of the road, and they flew up in a big cloud, and it was so beautiful. I got one of those little beautiful shivers down the back of my neck. Come on. It's cheese.
No, think of those
like gold
poor
in
people in Alaska who probably can't get cheese deliveries all year.
Why can't they? We can.
Just telling you, you don't have adult acne.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
That's why my hair is like over here under my head.
God, we're starting this whole thing out with an argument.
We're fine. It's Friday.
All right. No, I'm glad to see you.
I was just going to say, if we're going to complain about something.
Well,
let's complain about that before the snow.
You know, it was so easy to get here this morning, so we can't talk about that, how horrendous the journey was, because the only thing that happened was in North Tunbridge, someone pulled out in front of me and went 30 miles an hour.
Was it the Schwan's man? Because we know that you hate him.
No, it wasn't the Schwan's truck. No,
I've started to embrace that hatred of the Schwan's man for you vicariously. So whenever I see him, it's like a black cat crossing the road. I think that if you see the Schwan's man, it's bad luck.
Well, it's more, I also have a morbid curiosity about why someone would drive a truck around central Vermont with all these doors on it, and what are they selling?
Like frozen food. What do you mean, what are they selling? body parts.
But
I don't know.
Why do they sell frozen food out of a truck? We have grocery stores.
Well, if you can't get to the grocery store, or if you specifically want some of the weird things that come from the Schwan's truck, like
yeah, whatever they are,
those little frozen juices in the cardboard cans, you have to take the ends off and then you mix them with water and stuff.
We're gonna have to go on a field trip.
It's called Very Berry Fruit Punch.
Why don't we do this on the weekend when we have nothing to do? We go look for the Schwan's truck.
Why don't we follow him? Why don't we stalk him?
Yeah, we could stalk the truck, and then when he pulls in somewhere, we'd pull in behind him. And
is he like a national thing, or is he just a New England thing?
I have no idea, but I want to know what's in the little doors because the truck has doors all over it.
Well, it's food, Kristina. I swear, it must be.
What kind of food is Schwan's food?
Are enough people buying it that they can have a truck that size? And why is their logo a swan when it's Schwan's?
It's Schwan.
I mean, I get that it's
Schwan. Schwan.
I think it ends with
doesn't
an
end
M.
with an M. No, it's not like squam.
I think it does end with an M.
No.
I think it's Schwan,
no way.
and I'm like, that's a dumb pun. It doesn't. It's not even close. All right, whatever. He can.
I'm so frustrated already. You're thinking so much faster than I am this morning that I'm
quick. I'm a quick one.
I'm getting paralyzed. I don't think I can keep up with you today.
I've not been thinking very fast for the last few days. First of all, pukey kids. I won't even get into it. We've had the stomach bug again, and yeah. Anyhow, but also on top of that, I had to do a bunch of substitute teaching for math, which is my least favorite thing, and I'm so embarrassed that I could not explain the math to a fifth grader. I did not understand it.
What was it? Division, long division?
No, it was like switching decimals.
Oh,
into
decimals
percentages
are bad.
Or something,
yeah.
or fractions, maybe. I don't know. I don't know any of those things, so I don't even know the words to tell you for what it was. There were dots and there were lines.
Well,
and numbers on top and bottom of lines. And
I hope
dots
the Tunbridge
School
School Board is listening to this. So
hey, I rock the art classes. I rock the music classes, except for when kids get out their musical instruments. That's bad. Yeah. I rock the English classes, history. I'm awesome. I'm pretty good in the science when there's no math involved.
Well, the good thing about the way that you teach math is that the kids who really hate math can relate to how little you relate to math.
I think that sometimes they figure it out because I think they think I'm faking it. I think they think I'm this pretend bumbling thing that wants them to explain it to me. Or they just feel really bad for me and they say, look, Emily, this is how it is. And they explain the division.
So that's good.
I guess.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
great.
It is still a little humiliating when a fifth grader is like, how do I do this again? And I have to say, I do not know.
Yeah, I'm not sure math is going to be with us forever. In the way that it gets taught in schools.
I've never used it. Unless I have to go substitute teach, I've never used math for anything.
I think a lot of people agree with that. And then there's the people that love it, which is fine. You can love math. I loved it up until about 8th grade.
What is there to love? It's not a lovable thing.
I love algebra.
It doesn't love you back.
No, algebra is for people who like to... Okay, I relate algebra to, in kindergarten, you have those pegboards where you put things in that fit. Yeah. You want something to fit really neatly and tightly and be matching. And
oh, like the star hole, you put the star in, and the moon hole, you
exactly.
put the moon in.
Well, algebra's like that. You have to put stuff in the right place, and then it all equals
all right, everything. I guess algebra does not tick me off as much as regular math because at least there's some letters involved.
Exactly.
I like letters.
I do too. Some people don't like that.
That sort of takes the fear away from it.
Yeah, I mean, 2A.
I'm like, oh, good. It doesn't say 7,000
2A.
million. It says X.
Well, right. It doesn't say 7,520A. It says 2A or 7A at the most. You don't get...
I have no idea what you're talking about, but that's okay.
Okay, moving right along. That's okay.
I'll cross it off my list.
Okay,
and then
great.
It's done.
Don't have to talk about Pommet anymore. Okay. Cool. Great. Mm-hmm. Moving right along. Let's talk about my week.
Yeah.
I was in the studio most of the week with Ben Reed, who flew out from Billings, Montana.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
Yeah, it's been really great. We actually have one more day. This afternoon's our last session together. But so Patrick came over yesterday, Patrick Ross, and he's doing some fiddle and cello parts. And he told us this little story about something that happened to him recently where he was doing a school assembly. You know, he goes to schools and he does all the kids get together in the gym or whatever, and he does a presentation. So he was getting set up for this one, and he had 2 fiddles, and he put one on the ground, and he'd also hired a film crew from Burlington to come down and film it. Mm-hmm. So guess who stepped on what?
A kid stepped on a fiddle, or the film crew stepped on a fiddle.
It was a film crew. It was a film crew stepped right on top of his fiddle and completely smashed it.
Was it like Jake from Mansfield Media?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
They're the ones in that area that usually do these things.
No, it wasn't local. It was Burlington. Oh. Yeah. No, but Patrick, he's such a practical person, you know. In that split second, right after it happened, I think he made this decision to just not react to it in a negative way, because how is that going to make any difference whatsoever?
It really doesn't.
And the show must go on. And now I think he's got a lot of credit with the company.
I bet he does.
So I think I don't know.
Which he probably wouldn't if he got really mad about it. I don't know. I found this is the moment when I discovered I actually was a reasonable adult. Or I figured out that I was kind of growing up when I decided that pretty much everything bad that happens to me is in some way my fault. So
did you learn that from a self-help book? Or?
No, it just came to me that, you know what? Every time I do something, I just need to own it a little bit and not... I mean, not everything. Clearly, you are occasionally the victim, but sometimes if you leave your fiddle on the floor, somebody will step on it. Yeah. And your initial reaction is to be really mad at the person, but then you just have to own your half and be like, well, I guess I shouldn't have left it on the floor.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I don't know. It's hard to miss a fiddle, though. What? Was it in its case? Of course it was in its case.
Yeah, he was just about ready to give his presentation, moments away from starting. And so, of course, he had his fiddle, one fiddled here, waiting here.
Poop in the potty.
Well,
does that count? Sorry.
That's a different...
No more bodily fluid references at all. Sorry.
Oh, you're just leaving me behind. I just feel like you're going to have to peel me up off the floor somehow. I don't know, but...
All right.
Okay, so here's the thing.
What?
I think it rarely serves us to get upset in front of other people. Although, why I say that is because there's always a chain of reactions after you get upset.
Well, as soon as you get upset, they get upset, and then they're mad at you
it's
for getting
like
upset. So
listen,
what?
The analogy, it's like when one kid vomits.
Oh,
in school?
Who's doing it now?
Okay, sorry. No, what I meant.
Does that mean I get a freebie because you broke the vow?
No. No, I take it back.
You can use it. You've already put it out there.
No,
that's your analogy. Go with it.
It's not what my point was that, okay, I think it's better not to get upset in front of people for the most part. There might be a few exceptions to that rule, but you do have to let your feelings out and express yourself somewhere in your life. It might not be with this person or that person or any person, but you got to do it somewhere. So how do you do that? You tell me. This is a quiz.
I don't know. You go and scream in your pillow, rub a potato on it, and then bury the potato at midnight. And don't ever tell anyone where you buried the potato, and then your wart will go away.
Who says that?
It's in a book somewhere.
Okay.
That's how... No, for real! It's in an L.M. Montgomery book, actually. I was just too embarrassed to say that. I get all of my information from Anna Green Gables and Trixie Belden and stuff like that. But...
Well, that's a legitimate source.
I look these things up, Kristina.
Okay.
For real.
Well, I know you look them up. It's where you look them up.
I looked it up on the internet where everything is a truth, too.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, where have all the warts gone? It's just strange.
Oh, that was the original question.
They don't crop up that often. People are not getting warts, so maybe it's the
only
only upside to global warming or something.
No. I don't think people are getting fewer warts. I really don't.
Well, are they hiding their warts some more or something?
No, they just go to the doctor and they get their warts removed, and that's that. Or they go get some preparation H.
That's for something else, I think.
It's all the same to me. I don't use drugs. Okay. But I remember the advertising, by God.
For preparation H or for warts? Why do they even have commercials for that stuff?
Because I want to sell it.
Well, I think that they've got a pretty captive market. If you need preparation H, you need preparation H. It's not like you can buy some other product. I'm going to go get some honey for my hemorrhoids. That'll work really well. No, they don't need, there's certain necessary things that I don't feel that people need to advertise for. You don't need to advertise toilet paper because people have to buy it. You don't really have to advertise for like booze because there are enough alcoholics in the world to just buy it. And you don't even have to, you're wasting your money advertising for toilet paper and stuff, like necessary things. Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm not going to get
I guess
into
there's
that.
a brand. There's a brand issue.
There's a brand
okay.
issue.
Forget it. My misinformation is way off today.
Well, speaking of medical things, I had a friend visiting this week who has impetigo. And I gave her some great advice. I said, you need usnea.
The tea?
It's a lichen. So that was my great medical advice that I gave this week.
You didn't just whip out the preparation H and rub it in your kid's ear, Kristina?
No.
Okay.
Thanks for asking, though.
You're welcome.
That's a logical leap that you made there.
I know. I'm nothing but logical.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Again, we are not drunk or on drugs, nor do we advocate.
Speak for yourself.
For the
No. It's too early to be anything like that. The weekend hasn't even really started, so just... Yeah, no, we're high on life. Dang it.
So high on life.
What are you going to do? You can't get away from it. Can't get away from this. Okay. But Elvira is kind of a cool name.
That is nice.
I like that
Is
one.
it Elvira or Elvira? Because there's that, that old country song, Elvira.
Oh, I never even thought of them as being the same name.
It's spelled the same, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
That could just be a really twangy southern accent saying Elvira, though.
I guess. Yeah, sort of a regional thing. Southern version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so that was that.
Nice.
I
like these names.
Thanks. Want to hear some music?
Yeah.
I bet you do. You're about done with my family tree.
No, I'm not. But it's about that time for music.
Yeah, it is.
What are we playing first?
Well, I've got a track here by Paul Asbell. You know Paul?
I don't think I do.
He's a Burlington guitar player. Really great guy. And he just put on an album. Let me see if I can... I had trouble pronouncing the album. Let me just see if I can find it. It's...
Is it Elvira?
No, but it's... I'll show you. Let's see here. P for Paul. Paul. It's called From Adamant to Atchafalaya.
That's not a word.
Atchafalaya.
Is that a word?
Phalia. I'm sorry.
Is it a real word, though, or is it a made-up word?
Those are two real places. Of course, Adamant, Vermont.
Oh.
And
the second one...
I don't know. Maybe that sounds like it's Louisiana or something. And this is something we're going to have feedback from our listeners who know where Atchafalaya is. We're just not that cool that we know it. But so let's see if we get back to our playlist. And this song is called Blue Driver.
That she can pronounce.
Searching the endless highway for a shoulder to cry. which way you go. I'm so doggone lonesome any way I go. Yeah, any way I go. Foot upon the throttle, watching the old smoke roll, looking in the rearview mirror for the highway patrol, for the highway patrol. Did my coffee stop? Everything was wrong. Pretty little waitress that I loved, she had up and gone. Yeah, she had come and gone. Big old lonesome moon and the stars above carried me on no truck to the one I love. Yeah, to the one I love. Foot upon the throttle, watching the old smoke roll, looking in the rearview mirror for the highway patrol, for the highway patrol. Looking down the highway, far as I can see, there ain't nobody coming but my old truck and me. Yeah, my old truck and me. 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 My old truck and me.
Anyway.
Hey, have you ever heard of unconscious? No, not unconscious. Conscious uncoupling.
Are we going to go on to Gwyneth Paltrow bash now?
How do you know
So
about that? How do you
pretentious.
know about that?
I'm not getting divorced. I'm going to consciously uncouple.
I don't think it is. I think it's a transitional phase we're going through culturally that we don't. The word divorce, it just has so many bad connotations, and that's why people behave so badly. If you could get divorced without getting divorced, you wouldn't have to behave so badly. It's almost by definition that you behave badly.
I don't know. I don't
But
think
if you
I behaved
consciously
badly,
uncouple,
but it still was
well,
definitely
the
a
first
divorce.
marriage is different. That's sometimes it's
How many are we going to have?
it's like-
How many are we going to have?
it's like those squirrels.
Once you get to your fifth, it's fine. You just completely, we consciously uncoupled.
Well, I think by the time you get to your fifth, it's sort of feeling like that.
Maybe. Isn't a mole and a vole the same thing?
No. No, why would they be called different things? Oh, there goes a mole. I mean a vole.
Well, they rhyme. Maybe it's someone with a lisp. Just, I don't know.
Do you like stubble?
Do I like stubble? I don't know. I guess it depends. Some stubble's worse than others.
Well, that's putting a negative slant on it.
You're right. Yeah, I like some stubble. It's brisk.
It's cool. I mean, it's male. It's very male.
It is, yeah.
It just reminds you that we don't have, our faces can't do that.
No,
So
but
it's
my
really
legs
neat.
can a lot.
Well, there's that, but we don't have a nice term for that. Like when your leg hair is half growing out, you don't think, oh, isn't that nice? I'm going to rub up against it.
It feels like it's going to slash. Apparently, from what I've heard, it's like razor blades ready to slash someone else's leg open. I'm such a mutt of different
And it comes out of
things,
different parts
so-
of you because your eyebrows are dark.
Yeah, black eyebrows, and my leg hair is
That's exotic.
really crazy stuff. If I leave it too long, I need like a brush hog. Sorry.
I still don't know what a wine bar is, but anyway, we're in this place and it's called Corks and More. Isn't that the worst name you've
That's horrible. Come
I'm
on.
sorry. It's like Toys R Us, Corks and
was
More.
it like in like an N in the middle? Like
No, I thought
Corks and More?
I was sort of expecting there would be one.
That's tacky. That's just plain tacky.
It was tacky.
Especially for a wine store. I mean,
Well, no, it was a wine bar.
Or a wine
So you
bar.
go
They
in,
don't
but
really-
here's the thing: is all the wine is in
styrofoam
machines.
cups?
No, it's in
Oh,
machines.
machines?
It's a machine.
What?
It's in dispensers along the wall. So you see a
like vending machine type of thing?
yeah, you see the display bottle on the top, and then the pricing is you can buy a taste, or you can buy a half a glass, or you can buy a whole glass, and you
Can
stick
you buy
a
the
little
whole bottle?
card. Maybe if you went up to the bar. There is a bar, but mostly you're supposed to go around and look at all these dispensers. I think it's supposed to be fun.
Sounds awful.
It's like being in an arcade, a wine arcade.
How
a little
weird.
bit.
So for just like
Yeah. And
weird, not grown-ups.
maybe that's it. And you buy a card, like a phone card, except instead of buying minutes, you're buying wine.
Tastes.
Yes. And then you stick your little card in, and then you stick your...
This sounds like something that would be in Vegas.
I know, but this was Ithaca, New York. I just felt like what's happened to my old hometown? We have
They're Vegasizing.
wine bars now.
That's very strange.
And then the worst thing about it, though, besides that, was that I had one of those experiences when you get involved with some chit chat and you're kind of stuck there, and you can't get
extract
out of it.
yourself gracefully.
It was the worst. It was so
I
bad.
don't like that. Well, that was like me on the radio last week.
Well, yeah. So I think
I couldn't
I was.
extract myself at all because I couldn't just leave.
Yeah, I hear you.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So who'd you get stuck with?
Well, it was two nice people, but one of the three people, counting myself, sort of, I don't know, somehow she always takes on the responsibility for keeping the chit chat going. Mm-hmm. She just takes pride in that. But the fact of the matter is that you can never change the topic because she fills in if there's just a fraction of a pause in the conversation. She's ready with the next topic, and she jumps in. And if you want to change the topic, it's like trying to change the course of the Mississippi River.
That's a pretty good description.
Yeah. So you go along with it, and then if you're bored with the topic, there's nothing you can do. You can either try to think of inane things to say to make a contribution, or just look like an idiot.
That's
So
when
I
you look
chose
down
the
and you
latter.
say, "Excuse me, my shoe is filling up with blood. I need to leave." And you just sort of walk away dragging your leg.
I didn't think of that.
Or you fake some sort of like, you just fall to the ground flailing.
I
And
didn't
then at
think of
least
that either.
the little men in the white coats will come and take you away and you're out of the conversation.
Okay, well, next time maybe I'll know.
There is an art form to closing a conversation with somebody like that.
But we couldn't close it because I was there. My brother was having this intense conversation to the right of me with this old buddy of his. And so the whole point of the social event was that he was going to meet up with this old bandmate from decades ago.
So you were
and
stuck until he was ready.
yeah, but I think I would have done better if I'd sort of horned in on his conversation, but I didn't want to bug him. He's with his old buddy, and
That's a tough one, Kristina.
yeah, it was really rough. I had a rough.
I don't know. That's
rough time with
sometimes
that.
where my kind of ridiculous quirkiness comes in handy because I am known for just being really sort of spastic. So I'll just pop up and be like, "Oh, hey, I got to go do this." I mean,
I kind of did that.
It
I kind of
works.
finally, I was just
you're not blonde enough to get away with it, but
to be sort of act
I can just
bimbo-esque.
be like, "Oh, I forgot to pee," and then I'll just walk away.
Yeah, I could have gone to the bathroom. That actually would have been a good strategy for at least short-term relief. But what I ended up doing is I just suddenly turned to my brother and I kind of pulled on his shirt like I would have if I was 5 years old. I was like, Mark, I think I'm gonna go. And then I said, oh, because we all came in the same car. I said, oh, it's okay, I can walk. Of course, it was like 5 miles.
Kristina, you crazy woman.
Well, it was in this part of Ithaca. There's actually parts of Ithaca now that are bad parts of town.
Yeah.
And it was probably 11 o'clock at night. And
Oh, my God.
I'm trying to sound sort of enthusiastic, like, yeah, no problem, I'll walk. But it didn't go over too well.
You were desperate.
I was.
That is some major desperation there.
Yeah. If anybody wants to teach me some social skills, please contact me.
I don't really have any. I mean, the ways that I do it are not graceful or right, but
at least you make people laugh, you know.
I don't think I do. I think they just look at me in confusion most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, is she okay?
Yeah. You know, part of it generates from the fact that neither of these two people asked me any questions about myself.
Oh,
that would have been helpful if they'd said, "So, what are you working on these days?" You know,
right.
Then I could have said something intelligent. But oh well,
it's pretty
okay.
irritating. So it's just you're being talked at.
Yeah, but you're expected to somehow be interested,
super interested, and validate their whole existence.
Yeah.
Well, that's really silly.
Okay, just.
We hate you people in the wine bar who talk about yourself after you had too much from the vending machine.
No, actually, one didn't
Vegas.
drink. One didn't drink. And
well,
one
they
did.
should have. Maybe you should have been like forcing them to
I think
drink.
it would have
and
worked
then...
out better if she had gone in that direction.
Yeah. Golly,
anyway.
that sounds not very fun.
Okay. Well, sorry. I didn't mean to load that whole
No, it's okay.
thing onto you.
That's a pretty good topic is conversation when you're not quite well, you know what, I don't think we shouldn't be blaming you for not being able to get out of the conversation. We should be blaming the other people for being a really rude conversationalist, because completely one-sided conversation is not okay.
Well, it's not like the person that I'm thinking of who was pretty much driving this was not talking about herself. So, well, she was in and out of it. She actually was somewhat.
You don't swear that much at all. And I normally don't, but we have our days where we shut off the microphones and we let it fly.
I have my days, and with certain friends, I think it builds up inside me. And so normally I don't, because I like to be somebody who's not that way, whatever that way is. But some of my friends, have been practicing some of the F words.
There's more than one? There's sort of variations on the same one.
No, there's only one.
Oh.
But there's many of them the same.
Right. We have a dictionary that says it's the F word dictionary, and it's like everything that you can put together, like F, wad, F,
Composite words.
Right, but it's a whole thick book of everything.
How thick? Could you
thick, like
gesture with your fingers?
Like that, like regular paperback novel type of thickness.
Who bought that?
I don't know. It's just in the bookcase.
It's John's, isn't it?
Probably is John's, actually.
He bought it as a novelty.
There's a lot of dictionaries there, but this one is, it's probably a good inch or two thick, and it's all about the F word.
They probably wouldn't have that up at the Fletcher Free Library in Burlington, would they? In the reference section? I'll have to ask my friend.
Are they allowed to drop the F-bomb in the library? Can't on the radio.
Well, a book can drop it without making a scene quietly on the shelf, right?
I would think so.
But if children have access to things like that, that's not
what about
ideal.
all the swear words that have sort of morphed out of that swear word?
Like Jebediah?
No.
Jehoshaphat?
Like people say freaking all the time.
Yeah,
and
I never
is that
liked
turned
that.
into like a real swear word now?
Fricking.
Frigging, freaking, fricking.
Is that what that came from?
Fracking.
But the F word does not have an FR.
No.
It goes directly to the vowel.
People don't say figging or feeking. I don't know. But anyway, what is that word? Is that an actual swear? Like, did I just drop an F-bomb, or is that... I mean, those technically aren't swears, right?
Frickin'. I don't know. I just don't know, Emily.
All right, well...
I'm so ignorant.
I don't know either,
I'm
Kristina.
lost in a sea of ignorance.
That's all right.
Swimming. I'm trying to reach the surface.
F-bomb lifeboat is coming for you.
Well, I restrained. I exercised great self-restraint on this last trip of 10 days that I was describing to you, going to Ithaca and then to Maine. I only went to one bookstore. I've got such a busy weekend, though.
I know, me too. But
I'm not going to be able to relax. Going to go to Boston and play a gig in a bar.
Well, that's cool. Is it a wine bar?
Oh, God, no. No, it's Atwood's.
Atwood's?
In Cambridge.
Oh. Well, that's still sort of fancy.
I've never been there. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Everything in Cambridge is sort of fancy.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's like the up-and-coming sort of hipster
Well,
land.
it's hip. It's not fancy necessarily.
Right. Fancy was not the right word. I just meant, I guess hip was the word I was going for.
Yeah, so I'll try to be hip for 24 hours if I can. See how I do.
Hip schmip.
Yeah, I know. Oh, dear. But it just means trying to figure out what I'm going to wear, trying to remember which guitars and mandolins I have to bring and what cables.
Going out in public is like kind of stressful now.
Oh, it's really stressful.
I mean, when you go to metropolitan areas,
Yeah.
This last week, the kids and I just went to a zoo and a few parks and things like in Providence and Boston area and all around there, visiting family. But it was sort of stressful looking around and seeing that everyone else is dressed a certain way and I'm not.
You dress pretty well compared to, say, me.
You're wearing white today. Oh, no.
I have a linen. This is an old linen shirt.
Natural.
It's pretty tough.
Tanny linen white-ish.
It's sage green.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have called it tan or beige, but...
No, I would not wear beige. Come on.
Maybe it's just
me
the
and
light
beige?
in here. I guess
That's
it
like
is green. I guess. Wow, am I colorblind or something?
Okay,
It's
we'll
so
go
weird.
outside.
All right.
And fight about it after
I mean,
the
it looks
show.
like the same color as the walls. Look at it.
Sort of.
And the walls are very clearly
If
beige.
you stretch your imagination. Now you've put down my
Sorry,
most fashionable
sage green.
shirt.
It's very fashionable. I like it very much. And the buttons are cool, too. They look like they're made of, like, horn or antler or something.
Yeah, and I buttoned it right. I thought of you this morning because
You didn't button them all
Well, the
crooked.
first time I buttoned it, I didn't notice for about a half an hour, and it was one button off, which is my MO.
Mm-hmm.
And I straightened it out.
Wow.
It's looking pretty
Impressive.
sharp.
But yeah, anyway, everybody else was walking. We're at a zoo, so there's all kinds of young families, and all the moms look like they just stepped out of a Banana Republic ad. And
They're Dockers.
yeah,
And they're
but
khakis, Dockers, and polo shirts.
kind of, but a little more fash than that,
Fash? Is that the word?
I'm just shortening fashionable so that I can sound fashionable.
Do you just do that, fash?
No.
Other
I've
people
seen
say
it.
fash?
I've seen it like on Facebook. I'm just picking up on
Okay.
the cool hip lingo.
Feel behind.
But anyway.
That's good. Let's go to a song.
Fine.
Okay. All right. I've got Mark Strusacker here. And this, he emailed me this morning and said it's a Willie Lindner song. Willie wrote the song, and Mark, I think, plays and sings it. So, but it's on both their albums, which is kind of cool. I like that idea.
Sharing is nice.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go.
Sitting on the porch, playing my guitar, listening to the crickets hopping round the yard, waving to the neighbors who pass along their way. Supper's in my belly, the ending of the day. The dog's here at my feet, over yonder sits the cat. They used to fight and bark and scratch and hiss, but I broke them of that. Now old hounds are waiting for dark is coming soon. We'll head down the holler and try to tree a coon. Now I can hear the chickens down in Everett's yard. Sometimes they get run over, a chicken's life is hard. Now wish they did that rooster and leave the chickens be. He's awful aggravating when a feller's trying to sleep. Over in the garden, the corn is growing tall. I looked through there this morning and didn't see no silks at all. According to the old folks, a wedding there will be. If the first silk is a red one, I guess I'll wait and see. This old guitar I'm picking ain't much, but it'll do. The neck's bent like a horseshoe, the top has come unglued. And I can't pick much no way, just sort of make some noise. Me and Roscoe bought it when we was only boys. Now Alfred wants to play me at checkers once again. He's beat me 9 games running and he aims to make it 10. I'll act like I don't hear him, I'll pick a country song. Watch the hillsides fading and the darkness rolls along. The air is getting cooler, the moon is nearly round. I don't feel up hunting, the heck with that old hound. It's raining in Kentucky, the radio just said. Probably heading here next, I guess I'll go to bed.
And all that anger that you've suppressed, even when you didn't think you were, it's all comes up to the surface. And then you have to deal with it either constructively or destructively. And that's the big puzzle for the decade of the 50s. But it's a great puzzle because you have so much energy. You could climb mountains or you could kill people or, I mean, it's really
all
up to you.
Good stuff.
So
either or, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
Go over which way you wish. Uh-huh.
Oh, good. Gotta have that still to look forward to.
Yeah.
Killing people. Woo!
Well, you realize that you that you want to. You don't act
don't
on
we
it.
all
You just
realize that all
it.
the time anyway? Oh my god, if I'm going to realize that more than I already realize it?
Yeah, it comes with a new whole... Well, now when you're in your 50s, you really are smart
I don't know if I want to
stuff.
be in this faraway little room perched out over the river with you, Kristina, since you're in your 50s and you really, really want to kill people now.
No, but I'm using my energy constructively.
That's true.
I am. I promise you're safe with me.
Okay.
At least for now.
Yeah, but you know what? When people get really, really old, then they get wicked grouchy again.
Not all of them.
My friend Matt, who takes my dance lessons, and I were dancing at the nursing home last weekend. And every time I dance there, there's this one lady. I mean, most of them are pretty chipper about it, and they like to see us coming. But there's this one lady who, as soon as she sees us coming, and I carry my stereo system in a big rolling cart thing, and she goes, "Oh!" As soon as she sees me coming, like she doesn't like my dancing, and there's, is something wrong? Your music is too loud. I don't like your music.
Well, why does she
It's
have
too
to
quiet.
subject herself to it?
Because she's in a wheelchair, and they just push her in there, and she doesn't really have any choice. But this time, I was prepared for the worst, because my dance kid, Matt, has waist-long dreadlocks, and he's a young little goth kid, and he's the best dancer ever, but I was assuming the old people were going to just have a field day on him, because he looks like himself anyway.
Looks like Bob Marley.
But he's such a good dancer. He's such a good dancer. And after we got done dancing, the nurse leans over this cranky old lady and was like, "Did you like it this time?" And she was like, "No, but I almost did." And so I was like, "Woo!"
Well, you're making headway.
Must have been those dreadlocks. I don't know.
Ooh.
But he's very tricky to dance next to, because when we turn, they whip me.
hit you.
They're long enough that they smack me in the head.
Wow, cool.
They are very, very interesting. And he's got these things all in his dreadlocks. Like, as the years go by, he's added like little souvenirs to them, like beads or wraps and stuff. And as they keep growing, you can it's like tree rings. I don't know.
Wow.
And he's a very clean person. They're not like nasty.
I was just going to ask, that's a typical question that you ask people. I had a friend who had dreadlocks. I liked hers.
I'm normally not a fan of dreadlocks on white people, because it's just like, why? What? It's harder to put the dreadlocks in your hair than it is to not put them in your hair. So why? Like, and it feels like you're stealing someone else's cultural identity, but I like them on Matt.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me about your last couple weeks.
Okay, before I do, I'd like to say that you're listening to 11th Hour Radio on Royalton Community Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Which we always forget to say.
I know.
It's worth saying at the
But if
beginning.
you're listening, don't you already know because you clicked on Royalton Community Radio?
Well, you might have just stumbled in here accidentally.
There's
I don't
no
know.
way to stumble in here accidentally, I don't think.
Well, okay.
You have to hunt this
All right,
sucker
well,
out.
Todd asked us to say,
Okay.
give us station identification
guess
at the beginning.
For Todd, we'll do
And
it.
I'd be happy to do it for Todd.
That's true. Todd's
So
pretty great.
let's just be sure that we know where we are and what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Now we know.
Tell me about your week now.
Okay, let's see. Who did I kill? No. No, I did get really mad this week. That's why
No.
that's why I said that, is because I was one of those people.
You have 3 pages of mad over there.
Well, it's not all about being mad.
Okay,
It's
good.
just part about being mad. I got really, really mad.
All right.
Just really, 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 really mad. Like it kept me up all night one night.
Oh, no.
Isn't that something?
That's mad.
That's impressive. That's a lot of energy in the system. So as long as you can take that energy and do something constructive with it, I think you're going to be fine.
Let's keep our fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah. So
So what were you so mad about? Is this an on-the-air topic or an off-the-air topic?
I think I'll pass for this week.
Okay.
Basically, it let's just in a general sense, it was about somebody not answering my questions directly, about experiencing evasion
Definitely
tactics and
kill-worthy.
denial.
Kill-worthy qualities. there.
Yeah, so, but I'm going to move on from that. I did have a really good landscaping week. I think I did 5 days
With no ticks.
with no ticks. And I got back on my four-wheeler, my Polaris Ranger.
You have a four-wheeler?
Well, I don't personally have it, but one of my jobs, we have a Ranger, and it's so much fun.
This is awful, but my kids want one so badly, and I've always been like, that is so white trash, but
Well, no, that's why in your 50s you actually can speak from personal experience, and when you
right.
you see, so suppose, let's just hypothetically say that I said that to somebody maybe 30 years ago, that I said I want to annihilate you from the planet, but obviously I was not able to do that, and so, but now you see fate takes care of things. You don't have to think that you have to mete out justice to every person who wrongs you.
That's
you
true. That is a
actually,
good
fate
lesson.
will take care of it. So just everybody calm down, relax. You don't have to do it. It's off your plate. I think that's a very
that's true.
important
I totally
lesson.
believe in that.
Yeah, which is not to say that it's... I think that these tribunals and so on are important rituals for communities to heal through experiences where, there's victims and perpetrators, but let's face it, a lot of us just can't take that kind of revenge. So,
Yeah.
well, it's not even revenge, that's the wrong word for it. It's like having some kind of a formal process that helps people move through bad experiences. We don't always have that available to us. So if we don't, and we're feeling stuck, and we're in our 50s and it's all coming out again, just let it be constructive. Let it be constructive. Start a new art form. Like I said to my daughter this morning, I emailed her, I had this great idea. I said, let's do a book. You do, but she does botanical illustration, sort of as a side thing.
Yeah.
I said, we'll do a book. You do the botanical illustrations and I'll do the poetry.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll shut up now. I know, it's hard to find the really inspirational plant books. I have a few.
And this is why
I'll show-
I'm not a major gardener, because I want it to be something that's a little more like
Do you
la
have
la 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 la, instead of this is the pH of the fertilizer.
Well, what about the Flower Fairies book?
Yeah, I like that one.
I mean, do you have those?
Uh-huh.
You have all of them?
No, not all of them, but I
You
have
should.
one or
They
two.
actually make a
Ira has
volume
them,
now that
actually.
has them all in one.
I like the Squash Fairies book. Have you seen that one? The Pressed Fairies book?
No.
It's kind of disgusting because it's like as if someone took little human fairies and squashed them between the pages, so they're a little blobby and squished out, and some of them have like guts, which I know.
Wait,
I know
I don't get this.
but it's really cool in a weird way.
Are these drawings? Or
Yeah,
these
they're
actually
drawings, but they look very, very realistic.
the Squash
It's a little creepy.
Fairies book?
It's half creepy and half cool. It's as if someone was picking, there's pressed flowers and pressed fairies. It's the Pressed Fairies book. Look it up.
Okay, no, I haven't come across that.
And they're all naked, which is a little also disturbing because sometimes their breasts like squash in different directions and stuff when they're squashed in there. It's cool. It's really interesting.
No, I don't.
I don't actually
don't
have that
see
one,
it.
but Myra has it. Maybe she'll lend it to us.
Yeah, she should do something for us on her birthday.
That's right.
That's what I think.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not fair. I hate this birthday thing. Everybody gets treated so specially on their birthday.
I know. And you know what? It's also Teacher Appreciation Week, so they've gotten treated really specially all week.
Oh, that sucks.
I know. Who would do that, dude?
Did they when is Landscaper
Oh my God.
Appreciation Week?
Yeah,
Tell me.
when is
Tell
that?
me.
When is Radio DJ Appreciation Week?
Yeah.
I helped serve a luncheon to the teachers at Tunbridge, which was really fun, actually, because you know what? They're amazing and awesome. And really, people should do that like once a week.
Oh,
for teachers.
every day should be
Oh my
Teachers
God.
Appreciation Day. Go up and kiss a
They don't
teacher
get
any day of the week, but not in
paid enough
school
to do
because you
it.
get arrested.
What? For doing what?
Kissing a
Killing?
teacher
Kissing.
in a school.
We kiss our teachers at Tunbridge.
Well, that's because you're such a backwater
Oh, that's true.
school. You can't do that in most schools.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, don't try
They're
that.
cuddly. We have
don't try
cuddly
that
teachers.
up in Montpelier.
No, Montpelier.
actually-
Yeah, what are you talking about?
That would be fine. Maybe not in Burlington. Let's go a little farther north and west.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
All right. But I've been so tired lately when I get back from work that
You're like, when I get back from killing people, I'm just exhausted. I have to lay down and take a little rest before I go out and kill someone else.
it's
So
tiring.
taxing.
It's
So
tiring to
taxing.
just be feeling so many things so strongly all the time.
That's
And
very
people
true,
wouldn't know it
Kristina.
because I'm fairly mild-mannered.
You are
in
very mellow.
My presentation to the world. But the people who are close to me know that I'm anything but mild-mannered.
Yep.
So
I have to turn the music. I have to turn the music off so she'll stop choking me. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah, she's kidding.
Oh no, now she's really gonna choke me.
Well, you didn't even let me finish what I was going to say,
Okay,
which
I
is that
never
I'm
do.
so tired at night now that by the time I end up falling asleep before I can use my new ionizing toothbrush.
What is that?
I got a new toothbrush.
Is it like those salt lamps? They're ionizing.
Maybe it is.
What does that
I
even
know
mean?
they're supposed to. The ionization process is supposed to repel plaque. There's something
I
metal
think you
on the
can
toothbrush.
just do that with coconut oil or something.
Oh, you're thinking of pulling.
Repel? Well, where is it going to go when you repel
you're
it?
thinking of
It's still in your mouth. Don't you want to get it out?
Okay, forget it. I
No, I need to
bring
hear
this complicated
I need to
health
hear
process.
about repelling plaque, please.
Now we're talking about mountain climbing, repelling.
Didn't you just say you're repelling plaque? Oh no!
I'm so confused. I don't know what I was talking about.
Ionizing
It's all
toothbrushes.
your fault.
I'll
I'll tell you more. The problem is I haven't even taken it out of the package yet. So how can I tell you about how it works? I have no idea.
Where'd you get it?
I don't want to tell you.
What?
People will think I'm.
Why
a
do
real,
you even have
a
this
real
on your
nut.
list if you don't want to tell me even where you got the toothbrush? What if someone else would like one, Kristina?
Let's just say I have a source.
How will they know where to get it?
If anybody wants to,
She'll meet you in the dark alley at 11 o'clock.
exactly.
If you hand her, probably...
Look, there's
let's
some
see.
things I just
How much
like.
did it
I
cost?
prefer to keep
Was
secret.
it under $17?
Yes, I owe her $16.80.
All right, if you
to
hand
be
Kristina
exact.
$16.83 in the back alley after this radio show, she will give you an
I'm not gonna
ionizing
give-
toothbrush because she can't tell you where she got it.
No, I only have one right now.
Oh.
And I need to just get it out of the package and try it.
So you're not going to be like the dealer.
Not today.
Okay.
Maybe next week.
Well, I'm very excited to hear how this works and if it's repelled all your plaque. You don't even have plaque. What are you talking about?
Do you see my tooth is gone?
Yeah, that's been gone for a while. There's some plaque gone.
I didn't know if I'd showed you specifically where the hole was.
Oh, I saw. I did.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But I think I'm going to get an implant. Like, they're going to plant a tooth in there.
That should thrill your gardening soul.
I know. That's what I was thinking. It was fate. And look at me now.
Did they ask you because they knew that you like to pluck dead pansy heads, or did them asking you to pluck their dead pansy heads start you liking gardening?
I don't think I even knew what gardening was when I was 5. I was just
But you liked
doing what she
plants,
asked me
right?
to do. I don't know. I used to climb trees a lot.
I don't know.
I don't know. You're asking me
Just a
really
lucky
confusing,
break.
identity questions about, who am I? What really makes this woman tick? I don't know. Okay, what time is it?
I don't know.
It's 11:55. We're going to pay attention this time.
Okay.
And I do have a track of music coming up that's about, it's almost 4 minutes long. It's going to be a Lizzie Mandel song called This Old House. Here we go. We're going to have to say goodbye.
She's karate chopping her hand over there.
Giving her
points.
hand signals.
All right, we love you guys, and we'll see you all next Friday.
Bye.
This old house still stands. This old house still stands. Yet I'll never know if I am home. This old house still stands. This old house still stands. Yet I'll never know if I am home. But I'll wait for you through the early hours of spring, and I'll know it's you by the way your love sings. This old love is gone. This old love is gone. Will I ever know if it was true? This old love is gone. This old love is gone. Will I ever know if it was you? I will wait for you, and I'll hold the key for a love we knew that slips away like a dream, like a dream. I'll wait for you through the early hours of spring, and I'll know it's you by the way your love sings. I hear you're coming home. I hear you're coming home. Will these lonely nights ever end? I hear you're coming home.